From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reported tonight,
Bimbo Oloide.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, President Goodluck Jonathan orders new service chiefs to arrest terror in the Northeast. Senate seeks political solution to the defections in the upper house, delays reading of defectors' letter. Suspected fraudster Fred Ajudua rearraigned for allegedly defrauding two European businessmen of $1.69 million. That's about 287 million naira. And the United Nations attacks the Vatican, urges the church to remove all priests behind suspected child abuse.
On Business News tonight, the federal government moves to empower the Export Processing Zone Authority.
And on sports news tonight, Sunat Bishal's dream run as Walia Antelopes coach comes to an end as the Ethiopian Football Association gives him the boot.
I'm Gloria Omezioke, and from Abuja, President of the Nigerian Bar Association absolves the body of working against the recall of Justice Ayo Salami of the Appeal Court.
Winning the war against terror is top priority for the federal government. This was emphasized today when President Goodluck Jonathan swore in the new service chiefs. The ceremony took place in the presidential villa before the commencement of the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. The president is confident that the new service chiefs will work together with other intelligence agencies to ensure total victory against insurgency.
One after the other, the new service chiefs file out as the president and commander-in-chief, assisted by the vice president, and their spouses performs the ceremony. It's not been an easy moment for the Goodluck Jonathan administration. Behind the mere ceremony of decorating the service chiefs is the fact that they have a war in their hands to fight. And for the president, this war must be won.
Chief of Staff, I don't know whether I will congratulate you or sympathize with you because of the circumstances of the moment. And that reminds me, when I was in secondary school, I read one article written by late Dr. Taiso Laren. And there is one clause, I said that I wish you what I wish myself every year. May you have a hard time this year. So I think I will wish you what I wish myself every year. May we have a hard time this period. Because none of us will sleep until Nigerians in Borno State can sleep. And that's why I say today it's not a moment for making statements. We will be having very frank talks from time to time. But definitely Nigerians will tell you what they expect from us. We must not fail this country. And I believe this team, you work together to be assisted by other intelligence services. And the war against terror must be won by this country. I'm convinced that we've selected the right team to salvage this country at this time. You must not disappoint Nigerians. Congratulations.
For the new Chief of Defense Staff, the terror situation in the country is not new. Their loyalty to the country is also known. But what may be new is the strategy he and other intelligence agencies are bringing on the table, such that will dislodge the insurgents in the Northeast before the general elections.
As the 2015 general elections approach, the armed forces is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that normalcy is speedily restored in the northeast, so that Nigerians in the affected areas can resume their normal lifestyles, and also so that elections will hold in those areas in 2015.
Their decoration is following the clearance by the National Assembly, the first of its kind since the inception of the democratic process as required by the law. Who knows, their tenure may bring about the required bite that will not only end terror, but other issues that border the integrity of the Nigerian nation. Chukwuma Onwekusi, Channels Television News.
The Senate has adjourned its plenary till Tuesday next week to allow opposition lawmakers from the All Progressive Congress, APC, to go and register in their respective states. Meanwhile, the letter notifying the leadership of the defection of some lawmakers from the PDP to the APC was not read on the floor of the Senate during Wednesday's legislative proceedings. The defecting senators last Thursday demanded the letter be read on the floor of the Senate by the Deputy Senate President, Senator Ike Ekweremadu, who presided over the session. Our correspondent, Linda Akigbe, reports.
It's yet another closed-door session in the Senate, a second of such meeting in 48 hours. We may not know the exact details of what lawmakers discussed behind this door, but it's safe to say that the issue of defection of some senators from the PDP to the APC would have been given some attention. The body language of the opposition lawmakers after the closed-door meeting suggests that this was the case. For days now, the attention of Nigerians had been on the Senate to see if a letter stating the defection of lawmakers from the PDP to the APC would be read on the floor, as was done in the House of Representatives. For days after the letter of defection was forwarded to the Senate President, it's yet to be read on the floor of the Senate. At the plenary last week, this infuriated the defecting lawmakers.
The distinguished Senate President told his chambers that he is aware of the letter.
The Senate spokesman explained why the Senate President was reluctant to read the letter at Wednesday's plenary.
It was also resolved that the Senate President in particular, would have to seek further legal advice because of the serious legal issues that was thrown up during the discussion.
He further explained that the legal recourse which the defecting lawmakers sought has further tied the hands of the Senate President.
The senators who are defecting had first gone to court against the presiding officer. And of course, if you go to court, that means that we have to suspend what we're doing pending the resolution of the matter in court.
But an opposition lawmaker disagrees. Senator Ojodu told Channels Television that whether the Senate President reads a letter or not is inconsequential at this point.
They should not lose sleep over it. You know, the world has already known, and that's what matters. They are already participating fully in our activities in our party.
Another hot button in this defection saga is the fear that lawmakers would lose their seats should they leave the party for another.
If any person defects or purports to defect from one political party to the other, for instance from APC to PDP or PDP to APC, the seat becomes vacant. You don't just lose the seat. The seat becomes vacant. You walk outside and leave the seat of PDP where the seat of PDP is.
If the Senate President wakes up today and say so person's seat is being declared vacant because of defection, then we will ask him that what happens when Zamfara senators, for instance, the place that I come from, defected in the 6th Assembly from ANPP to PDP, you know, under your same work, and his seat was not declared vacant.
There are reports that the Senate President has been meeting with the defecting lawmakers to avert a possible division in the Senate along party lines. How much these meetings would accomplish remains to be seen. From the National Assembly, Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
The presidency has condemned the insistence by members of the opposition All Progressive Congress in the National Assembly to block the 2014 federal budget, describing the move as unpatriotic. Briefing State House correspondents after the council meeting today, the Minister of Information, Mr. Labaran Maku, described as shocking the fact that elected officials could carry out such instructions against the government. Mr. Maku called on Nigerians to hold the APC members accountable for any negative effect of their order to Nigerians.
So I am shocked that in a period where we are making economic gains, where the economy is growing at 7%, where consistently for 3 years the world has said Nigerian economy is best managed in Africa, in a period where policies that we lamented in the past are now transformed into opportunity for investment, in a period where we have been able to be a net importer of cement, we are now a net exporter of cement. Where we didn't have telephones, we now have telephones in every village in this country. Where power became an issue, now power is an opportunity for investment because new policies have unfolded to give this an opportunity for people to grow the economy. In a period where agriculture was to buy a few tractors and do fertilizer scams, where you now have agriculture as a policy transforming farmers into business people and supporting them. Now, this kind of situation means that all our hands must be on deck to grow the economy. If we grow the economy further, does not belong to Goodluck Jonathan. It's for the people of Nigeria. So I'm shocked that anybody will go to the National Assembly and urge people to do a partisan, to block the budget of a country. When you block the budget of a country, you are stopping the work of the market woman. You are stopping the work of the farmer. You are threatening the survivor of the teacher on the street. You are threatening the survivor of a patient in the hospital, because a lot of what happens to these people depends on the budget. So we must separate, a narrow negative partisan politics from the survivor of our people. So we believe that, yes, every budget needs to be robustly debated by the National Assembly, but not on the standpoint that my party asked me to stop passing the budget. Then Nigerians must hold them to account. They are not yet in power. They are already threatening the life wire of the country. So how can we then trust them with power?
In part two, after the break, the Department of State Security Service arrests two brothers who are suspected to be behind the kidnapping of their own grandmother.